This is state of static information field in book, or in another term, lower state of consciousness you can use. This is state of artificial information current, which means that it's including thoughts, ideas and picture in one ideology, desires which was created by Zionists and the brain, just comparing your life standards and personality archetypes with this specific information's current, called propaganda in a video. This is artificial world created by programmator, where it can be simulated life in space, physical laws, propulsion, destructing and creating the world, or build whatever you want. Modern 3D computer games working on 3-axis system, powered by artificial word engines, are running through code by decoder unit called processor and visual unit called graphic card. This world is only simulation and plagiated God's pattern, so it's lower state of existence that don't exist. Behind this artificial image panels is world we should observe. In reality, we believe that these images teaching us about what life is. This is very simplified graph of how computer works. Paper is main board, where are computer components. The processor has millions transistors, that decoding 1 and 0 in sinusoid, so it's an event that executing smaller codes or whole scripts based on binary, decimal, hexadecimal system called bits. So the processors were manufactured, for example, like 8-bit, 16-bit, 64-bit processor, etc. Current is going from power supply, logic is creating sinusoid in high frequency, and also processor has 2 cores. It's creating high heat spreading from the center, because every action creating reaction. Processor is doing duality cycles by event, and this work is called power, which is called watts. So every duality creating a trinity, but processor is low state of existence, so for the processor it's only heat created and data are decoded for external source, or better called observer. Data are stored on hard drive, which is static field of informations, that has limits in storage capacity and can be read only by logic unit, that changing codes into image, through hexadecimals, which are colors transferred into pixel field on the monitor. Monitors working also on refresh principles, which is form of duality, and it's basically refreshing pixel, that changing color by light and dark, and this effect with red, green, blue colors, creating color change effect. Image quality and frame rate, that is again frame per second, so it's ruled by event, is depending on graphic card power and information from code to picture conversion per time. This all components working together through chipset of the main board and basis, called BIOS. Hertz and gigahertz per second, just decoding raw informations into simulation or expressions. Computers, mobile phones, are simulations of the God's pattern based on duality and event, that changing polarity through time. The same principle working with our brain and body in common. I will try explain to you the whole point of the pure existence by every vlog. We are the same as a God itself, but the God is not a human, and to understand this claim, I will need to explain you everything that is needed to understand the raw nature of our existence and this imagination. Ideology is a concept that is created by thoughts cluster like a micro SD card filled with a data, which creating one program in synergy. Data can be basically divided into simple informations without function itself, or applications running through execution of the script, and the whole program operation is running by event of processor sinusoid. So before every pole of the duality positive, negative or synergy, there is an event, because without event, there is no obvious changes which can be observed. The ideology itself is also static, like a single thought or idea if there is no event present. The event means time that affecting the potential, which is always on middle of the duality. So for example, what I am drawing here is simple, very simple and ugly diagram of two types of foundations. One is human thought system and for example ideology, and another one is computer code, or just program prepared for execution. The whole point is that humans using limbic system as event between outer lower state of existence, which means observated world, and inner state of world in cortex, long-term memory. So the personality is in between two world, inner and outer, and is affected by time through limbic system or foresight. You are what you teached from outer world, and expressing yourself from inner world of personality to outer world, vice versa. Then there is also ego presented, but this will be explained later in further videos. The computer codes and whole computers are created by humans. Everything observed and created by humans is lower state of existence, and plagiated God's pattern, and this data and artificial information current is used to manipulate human mind. The paradox is that even lower state than outer world, the artificial current manipulating human mind very effectively through time and duality. So we are still talking about relative static potential or divine child. The personality affection. Imagine a water tank filled with a water or a beer. There is a filling process and depleting process or disaster process. When overfill and high pressure of water will destroy the tank. Or we can blow up the tank and water or beer will flood entire place that surround it. This thing is so obvious, it looks maybe dumb, but you will understand later why I am showing this to you. So the water in the tank is potential, relative static, if there is no time existing. But the time existing, and we all know it, so the potential was, is, or will be changed by event. And the duality itself is positive, filling the water, or negative, depleting it. Water is low state of existence, so there is no logic in the water. Well, maybe patterns, but water has no personality. Water is only used or observed by third person or entity. The same with electrical current or voltage. In this case, voltage is potential and current is form of duality. For example, your battery in your mobile phone is filled through charger and USB-C cable, and it's depleted by LCD and processor of your smartphone, Wi-Fi, music. So the duality is ruled by the event minus event equals time. The battery is charged in some time, battery will be depleted after some time. But the whole process of charging and depleting is also duality of positive and negative pole, and the same principle is just everywhere. If you clap with your hands, you will create a sound because of low state of matter created resonance, vibration between the both hands that pulsating in some hertz or frequency in sinusoidal, and that's why we hear a sound in our ear that transforming resonance from outer world into in limbic system into logic, and personality is affected by outer world. Speaker in mobile phone or car works on the same principle. There is a small coil that creating electromagnetic field around the speaker that pulsating membrane in positive and negative way that creating resonance and vibration, and sound is spreading out of the center. For the best output quality is used 3 types of speakers, woofers, tweeters and midrange, for achieving a synergy of the best sound proportions. The processor and hard disk are plagiates of God's pattern. There is basically nothing except 1 and 0 which creating potential, that is compiled by the processor, the event. That pulsating 1s and 0s in gigahertz, and decoding the whole programs or scripts saved on hard disk, hard drive. So there is a current flowing into processor tacting sinusoid in hertz equals duality in some time to run a program, Android and applications from internal storage or memory cards. This is compilation of the program by logic unit. or execution of sequence in one cycle or cycles which has start and end. Again, the event is ruling the duality. Ideology is the same as a program that is compiled by our logic, stored in our brain cortex, and expressed to the outer world by limbic system or subconscious mind. The personality is affected by cortex memories or thoughts which are mirrored in subconsciousness or horsai, into outer world as an expression or action and reaction between static field and randomizing or event mirror of the achieved informations are expanded by subconscious mind. The whole video was a short explanation how duality affecting the potential through time. The whole time I tried to explain the event and duality, I talked only about the potential change. The potential was data, memories and brain, water and beer in cup, electric current changed into heat and resonance, that create sound. Everything is action and reaction using dualism principles, and for example hearth is also resonator, by sustain love or hate, and as a physic organ is pumping blood by pulses. Everything is cycle ruled by time. But the time is not God but only its part. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.